And the image of God is unique to human beings. No other creature, no matter how glorious, no matter how intelligent, say a chimpanzee or a dolphin, we are told these animals are quite intelligent, no other creature was made in the image of God. But that image must be clearly understood. The image of God does not mean something physical, something whereby man resembles God in a physical sense, because we know that God is not a physical being. God is spirit, we are told in John 4. He has no physical body, unlike what the Mormons teach. He has no shape. He has no form. He has no colour. So therefore, the image of God is not that man is able to stand upright on his feet, for example. Nor is the image of God that man, unlike the beasts of the field, chimpanzees and dolphins included, is a moral, rational creature. It is true that does separate man from the beasts. Man has the power of reason. Animals do not. Man thinks. He can use logic. Animals act on instinct. Man, like his creator, is a creative being. He can build things. He can invent things. He can produce things of great beauty. He can also appreciate beauty in others, art, music, and so on. Man is a moral creature. He understands that there's right and that there's wrong. And when he produces a society, he has laws whereby he rules over other men. He punishes men for certain things, rewards men for other behaviors. A man is a religious being as well. He worships something higher than himself. He has this impulse within him that he must worship something. But all of these things, reason, logic, creativity, the appreciation of beauty, the use of language as opposed to grunts, a sense of morality, all of these kind of things do separate man from the animals, but none of them are the image of God. The image of God itself is something different from those things. The image of God in the Bible consists of three things, and only of three things. And if we have that straight from the very beginning, we can very easily answer the question, does man after the fall still have the image of God? The two classic passages on this are in Ephesians and Colossians. Ephesians 4:24 says this, "Put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness," there's the first thing, "and true holiness," there's the second thing. So righteousness, true holiness, they are part of the image of God. And Colossians 3 verse 10, "And ye have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge," there's the third thing, "after the image of him that created him." Righteousness, holiness, knowledge of God. Those are the three aspects of the image of God. And Adam and Eve too were created in the image of God, which means that they were righteous. They were not morally neutral. It wasn't that God created them as a blank sheet of paper on which they would either write righteousness or unrighteousness. No, they were already, from the moment of their creation, righteous. They lived, therefore, in perfect harmony with the will of God. They framed their entire life so as to harmonize themselves with what God commanded them to do. They delighted in living such a way. And they were holy. Their whole lives were devoted to God in love. And there was no sin in them. They used everything that they had, all of their powers, everything in creation, to serve their Creator. And they had the knowledge of God. No one had to come to them after their creation and tell them who God was. They immediately, from the very moment they opened their eyes on the first day that they were made, knew who God was. They had this intimate knowledge of God, and they loved the God whom they knew. And that's what our Heidelberg Catechism describes as the image of God as well. God created man good, and after his own image, in true righteousness and holiness, that he might rightly know God his Creator. It says nothing in the Heidelberg Catechism or any of the other Reformed confessions that the image of God is man's rationality, his ability to reason. It's only these things. And when man fell, he didn't simply lose those three things, knowledge, righteousness, and holiness, and become morally neutral. No, he became the opposite of those three things. He became darkened in his mind, so he did not know God any longer. And in fact, he hated God. That's what Lord's Day 2 says. I hate God and my neighbour from my fallen, sinful nature. He was unrighteous, twisted, perverse, and unholy. No longer was he devoted to God in love, and instead he became the image of the devil. Not of God, but of the devil. Which is why Jesus says in John 8, ye are of your father the devil, and his will ye will do.